Hey everybody, welcome back to the warbossfitz channel. Today we're going to talk about what happens when you put basic humans into a sci-fi world full of laser guns, spaceships, and aliens trying to eat their face. Today we're talking about the Human Defense Force. But first, before we get into it, a word from our sponsor. Elite Admirals, Generals, your reinforcements have arrived. At PrintedStarships.com, you will find high-quality 3D printed starships and sci-fi armies ready for deployment. Whether you're commanding fleets in Star Wars Armada, dogfighting in X-Wing, battling in one-page rules war fleets, or leading ground forces in grimdark future, we've got the precision-crafted models you need to seize victory. Use code warbossfitz for 15% off your order. That's PrintedStarships.com. Prepare to take command of the tabletop. So here we are in the one-page rules Army Forge to look at the Human Defense Force. This is another army that OPR has come out with the models for, and if you go onto the Army Builder, you have the option to go check out their STL minis and buy physical minis from the different distributors that they have. Click on them, go check them out. I'm going to be bringing them up as the video goes on while we're talking about the different units. They look really cool. I like the way they went with this. It's kind of a Halo / Helldivers look. So the background, we don't do that here. That's somebody else's video. We just look at the rules and we look at the play experience with them. So they have an army-wide special rule of hold the line. Units where all models have this rule get +1 to their morale test rolls. Now that doesn't sound like much, but that means that there's going to be a few units that you are just not going to be able to remove off the board without killing every single one of them. So for the unit special rules, we got a couple interesting ones here. We have coordinates. At the end of this unit's activation, another friendly unit within 12 that hasn't activated yet may be activated immediately. It may not be used if this unit was activated via coordinate. So that last sentence just means you can't just daisy chain this one after the other. You get to activate 2 units in the same activation if the first one has coordinate and the other one's within 12. There's some fun stuff to be had there with that, but this is a character or a hero buff, so you get a limited number of those. Then we have the entrenched buff. Once per activation, before attacking, pick one friendly unit within 12, which gets entrenched next time the effect would apply, and that means that if the unit that is entrenched didn't move, the enemy gets -2 to hit them from 9 inches away. Extended range buff. A lot of these buffs and stuff have ranges to them, like pick a unit within 12 inches. This one here lets you push those buffs out to 24 inches. We have fracture, which is their weapon special rule for what they're carrying. It's not on every weapon, but it is on some of them. Ignores cover, and on unmodified rolls of 6 to hit, they get AP +2. So almost like a half rending. Instead of getting AP 4, you get AP 2. And the points reflect that. So interesting weapons. Good shot. This model gets +1 to hit when shooting. Some of them have quality 5. We want to get them to shoot at quality 4, so that's what this is for. Mobile artillery. When this model uses a hold action and shoots at enemies over 9 inches away, it gets +1 to hit as long as it didn't move. And if it gets shot at from 9 inches away, it is -2 to hit. It's a +1 to hit with the entrenched up here. So these, you could get these to stack somehow, because the way the rules work in one-page rules, if they're not the same rule, they do stack, because this one is entrenched and this one is mobile artillery. Potentially, you could get -4 to hit something from over 9 inches away. Would it be effective? I don't know, but it's a funny rule. Like, you can't shoot me, even though 6 is always hit. Mister, I hit on a 2. You don't. You hit me on a 6 now. Yeah, I would just charge that target. No retreat buff. Once per activation, before attacking, pick one friendly unit within 12, which gets no retreat once the next time it would apply. No retreat is the new name for the old undead. If the unit is shaken or routed, you roll a dice for every wound that's in the squad. And on a 1 to 3, the unit takes a wound that can't be ignored. So you're not going to run away, but you might have some guys that drop dead. Relentless Mark. Once per activation before attacking, pick one enemy unit with 18, which friendly units get relentless against. The relentless rule is if you're over 9 inches away and you roll a 6 to hit them, that counts as an extra hit. It's like a ranged dependent furious. Then we have repel ambushers. Enemy units using ambush must be set up over 12 inches away from this model's unit. Not just the model like it was in the last edition. It is the model's entire units. And you can get some big old blobs of troops in this. So you could set up a big area denial area using this. All right, so let's look at the aura special rules. These are all of your heroes stuff. Where did I moved the thing. Okay, so we got just two here. Hold the line boost, where you're going to be getting +2 morale instead of +1. And then regeneration aura, the model and its unit get regeneration. So if you take a wound, roll dice, and on a 5 it is ignored. And then spells before we touch on the rest of the stuff here. Psi Injected Courage 1, a unit within 12 gets to hold the line boost, so it's a +2 morale. Electric Tempest, enemy unit within 12 inches takes 2 hits with AP1 and Fracture, and then you roll the dice. You automatically hit, but you just roll the 2 dice to see if you do trigger the AP +2. Calculated Foresight, pick 2 enemy units within 18, which friendly units get relentless against once next time the effect would apply. That can be real nice because depending on the unit, you are pumping out a ton of shots, and you're just going to roll 6s on some dice. It's just mathematically going to happen. Might as well get some extra hits out of those. Searing Boost. Pick 1 enemy unit within 12, which takes 6 hits. A pretty standard power 2 spell. Shock Speed. Pick up to 3 friendly units within 12, which move +2 when advancing and +4 when using Rush and Charge. Okay, so you have a pocket. This is the fast rule. You have a pocket fast rule that you could throw out there. Like if you want to do a turn 3 rush onto objectives or charging into enemies that have been reduced by your shooting. That's a pretty nice one. And then Expel Threat. Pick 1 enemy unit with an 18, which takes 6 hits with AP1. This one's kind of... Oh, pick 1 enemy model with an 18. I thought it was unit. Yeah, enemy model. That's screw that guy in particular. At AP1, you're going to have some of those to go through. So you're going to be using this to take out like buffing heroes, units that have like the banner or the medical expertise or something in the units. This could be interesting. All right, let's get into the heroes. Well, let's pop into the list itself so we can start looking at stuff. Here we go. First up, we have the Tank Commander. It is 335 points because you are tank, believe it or not. Quality 4, defense 2, fast, hero, hold the line, impact 6, and toughness 12. Let's see here. The impact rule is whenever you charge something, you get the number of dice to roll in brackets, and then on a 2-up, you hit. There's no AP with this. Real simple if your tank wants to run somebody over. It hits a lot, but they might save a lot. So for weapons, we have a Nova Cannon, 36 inches, a 1-shot AP1 with blast of 6, and a Twin Heavy Flamer, 2-shot to 12 inches, AP1, blast 3, and reliable. So you are a blasty boy. But we could change that. First, we're going to get down here to the buffs. So we have Entrenched, Rapid Advance, or Precision Shooter. So you can pump this thing up to 3 up to hit with Precision Shooter because you can buff yourself. You are a friendly unit, and you are within 12 inches of yourself, so yeah, you can do it. You can upgrade the tank with a Hunter Missile for a 1-shot AP2 Deadly 3 limited and unstoppable shot. Limited means you only get to fire it once per game. You don't have to fire it, like it's not a compulsory, you have to fire this whenever you shoot. You get to choose when to shoot it, but you only get to shoot it once during the 4 turns. And Unstoppable is a newer special rule that OPR has put out there. It ignores regeneration, and it ignores all negative modifiers on this weapon. Next, we got the weapon replacements. We can change out the Twin Heavy Flamer for Twin Fusion Rifles, machine guns, or plasma cannons. And then we can strap on another Heavy Flamer, Heavy Machine Gun, or Laser Cannon, and upgrade it with a Vehicle Radio for extended range debuff, Dozer Blade for Strider, and Camouflage Knitting for Stealth. And for the big gun, we can replace that Nova cannon with a Punisher Gatling cannon, anti-tank cannon, battle cannon, heavy plasma cannon, heavy HE autocannon or high explosive autocannon for fracture, and a siege cannon. So this is it's a tank. It is what it says on the tin. Let's see here. Now there's a few ways we could do this. Let's look at like a long range tank shooter because tank. What we could do there, we could play the You Can't Shoot Me game by giving it stealth and then giving it the entrenched debuff. Now these two do stack. The entrenched is going to be -2 to hit if it buffs itself, and then stealth is going to be another -1 to hit from over 9 inches away. So this thing could just be -3 to hit. If the enemy has some long range stuff, I would suggest doing this. Yeah, it's real funny when the super specialized stuff that hits on a 3 is now looking to hit you on a 6. But let's say you don't want to do that. You want to get down and dirty, pushing forward your tank company leader. Precision shooter buff would probably be the best way to do that. Giving itself or somebody right next to it +1 to hit. Getting rid of the stealth and putting on Strider because you don't want to have any pesky debris and stuff getting in the way to slow you down. And if you're going to be pushing up with this guy, probably what I would use. I would keep on the twin heavy flamer. I would actually strap on another heavy flamer. Where is it? Here we go. So we got 3 shots at 12 inches with a blast 3 reliable, because one thing you don't want to happen to your tank is getting swarmed by troops. It kind of goes counterintuitive from the precision shooter, but you're going to be using the precision shooter on your main tank cannon, which is going to be shooting at something else. And I would not use the Nova cannon because you already got blast covered. I really like the Punisher Gatling cannon. 1, because it's cheap, 6 shots with rending, ignores regeneration on a 6 at the AP4. There's the anti-tank cannon if you are hunting larger targets like, let's say, hive lords or enemy vehicles and transports. I like the battle cannon over the Nova cannon because it has 2 shots at blast 3, where the Nova cannon only had 1 shot at blast 6. Blast 6, you have a tendency to overkill stuff. If you shoot at a squad of 5, you're just never going to get that 6th hit. And if you do it with a battle cannon, you'll get all 6. Same thing with the heavy plasma cannon. This one's AP4 though, so it might be worth it to only get those 5 hits. The heavy HE autocannon with fracture. This one's interesting. This is one I would use as kind of a further back line shooter because it is 36 inches, and if you roll a 6, it becomes AP3. And then the siege cannon. This is indirect, so if you're pushing forward, the indirect, you're going to be -1 to hit if you move, which in this configuration you should move, but it's such a short range weapon that you kind of have to move. If I was going to go for the siege cannon, that's where I would do another one of the stealth and entrenched, just because put this thing up towards the front of your line and reach out and touch stuff with that indirect. So overall, the tank commander is just it's a battle tank that has the different buffs that it can give out. You're going to want to take whatever weapons you like on this. Really, there's no bad weapons on it. They just all have different uses. All right, so let's look at our next unit, which is the Storm Leader. Quality 4, Defense 4 for 145 points. Hero, Hold the Line, Strider, and Toughness 3. Comes with a Master Heavy Pistol, 2 shots AP1 at 12, and a Close Combat Weapon for 2 attacks. Here we get some more buffs. So here is the Coordinate. Precision Shooter, Caster 2, Bane in Melee, Rapid Advance, and Entrenched. Going to be dependent on what squad that you put it with, but Bane in Melee is real nice for a close combat squad, because not only do you get the effects of Bane, but if you have a specialized, like, high damaging assault squad, giving them Bane means they remove regeneration, and we all have that friend that just rolls a bunch of 5s for regeneration stuff, so just taking away that ability from the enemy is really good in close combat. So let's see here what the options are. You can replace the heavy pistol with a heavy rifle or a sniper rifle. You can replace the heavy pistol again. I don't know why these weren't put together. With a drum pistol or a plasma pistol. You can replace a close combat weapon with an energy sword and energy axe. You can give it orbital drop for ambush. And you have a wolf dog companion for repel ambushers. Okay, so for the heroes here, especially the Human Defense Force heroes, we're not really going to get in deep with the troops heroes because it all depends on what you put them in. So when we go build some squads, or as we go through the squads, we'll build some cool ideas with those, just to show some stuff off. These guys are buff baskets. They just walk around in the squad handing out buffs out of their little backpacks. And then next and last hero, we have the company leader. It's a little bit of a step down. It's 35 points, 10 points cheaper. Quality 4, defense 5. Hero hold the line at toughness 3. 2 attacks at 12 inches, and 2 attacks in close combat. We have the entrenched, rapid advance, Bane and melee, caster 2, precision shooter, no retreat, and coordinate buff. So the company leader is where you get the no retreat buff at. You can replace the master pistol with a rifle, a shotgun, or a sniper rifle, or a drum pistol and plasma pistol. Again, I don't know why these weren't put together. You can replace the close combat weapon with a sword, a hunting lance, energy axe, or heavy lance. Ooh, we get some AP4 options. Too bad this guy's only quality 4. But we'll make that work. And you can upgrade with 2 of these. Recon training for scouts, demo charge for 1 attack, AP4 limited. Oh, this is a close combat weapon. Heavy armor for armor 4, camo gear for stealth, a combat bike for fast and impact 1. Ooh, I like to upgrade with up to 2, so you can combo some of this stuff. And you can also do the wolf dog companion for repel ambushers. So this is going to be fun to put into a couple of units. Speaking of, we're moving right into the units. We got a recruit. We got recruits. 10 of them, 75 points. They're a 6-5 with hold the line, so whenever they go for morale, it's a 5. 1 shot at 24, and 1 attack in close combat. Now, the unit has no upgrades. These are just like 10 recruits with rifles. They kind of suck. What you could do with these is you could take a big old brick at 20 and a company leader, and then give that guy the no retreat buff. Now you have 21 models that are not going to run away until you kill all of them, or until they fall dead from the no retreat buff. So with the company leader, that makes the unit quality 4 from morale tests. With hold the line, it makes them quality 3. So in order to shake the unit, you're going to have to do 11 kills to it and then fail a 3 up. They're going to hold on for a while. And in this type of configuration, maybe put a wolf dog companion in there, so now you have that big brick of 21 models that are all pushing ambushers at least 12 inches away. That's kind of like the no-brainer option for these. Entrenched, rapid advance, bane and melee master. This, I wouldn't worry about this. Making it caster 2 for the psi injected courage. If you do that, you lose the no retreat buff. Yeah, no retreat buff, that's just the way to go with the recruits. We are a area denial unit. Don't expect much combat potential out of these, but they're gonna hold the line for you. Next, we have grunt robots. 80 points for 5 of them, or quality 5, defense 5, fearless, good shot, and hold the line. So they are quality 5, but for good shot and hold the line, whenever they shoot, they're going to be shooting on a 4, and hold the line, they're going to be morale testing on a 4. So even though this says 5, it's for all intents and purposes a 4. For 1 shot apiece, 24, 1 attack, close combat weapon. The only option they have is to extend, buff, or range, so they have the capability to receive orders from further away. Now, this used to be robot, which is what no retreat is now, but I think we've gotten a little bit cheaper, and it's a trade-off. We don't talk about nerfs from what happened before. We just deal with what we have to deal with now. These are our rules now, so this is what we play with. Company leader. This guy kind of meshes in with them. What can we do for this? You could do the precision shooter buff, but I mean, even then, you're only precision shooting rifles. I don't know. If I was going to do this, what I would do a coordinate on that. Make it 255 for the unit, and then I would have another unit of grunts right next to it for 415 for 2 squads that are going to activate pretty much together with that coordinate skill. Honestly, the grunt robots could probably do fine on their own. For 160 for 10 of them, I mean, it's not a bad idea. I mean, they're not going to be great. They're pretty much just we're here to hold spots. Uh, Maybe if you have the room in the list, instead of one squad of 10, take two squads of 5 to do that a little bit better. Yeah, so grunt robots are interesting. The models look really cool too. Next, we have the infantry squad, the bog standard boys. 115 for 10 of them, quality 5, defense 5 with hold the line. One shot with a rifle at 24, and one attack with a close combat weapon. And here we have options. So we got the field radio for the extended buff range. We have the company standard for hold the line boost to go ahead and pump them immediately up to, they'll be quality 3 whenever they take morale tests, and then a regeneration aura. Ooh, it's 30 points. That's pretty expensive inside the squad. That's like 2.5, 3 guys. Maybe. Now you can replace up to 2 rifles with a drum rifle for rending shots, plasma rifles for AP4, laser rifles for AP3, fusion rifles for deadly 3, grenade launcher for blast 3, flamer for blast 3 reliable, or a sniper rifle for takedown. That I haven't talked about it yet, but that's where you can choose the target you're shooting at. And you can replace one of the rifles with a weapon team. Either a mortar for blast, a heavy machine gun for 3 shots AP1, a missile launcher for deadly 3 unstoppable, a HE autocannon for 3 shots with a fracture, or a laser cannon for 3 shots at deadly 3. You can replace one rifle with a pistol and a hand weapon, making somebody a sergeant, and then you can give that sergeant a drum pistol or a plasma pistol or an energy sword or an energy axe for melee stuff. I wouldn't worry about melee for this squad. If you get melee, you're going to lose, period, end of story. So here we have some fun stuff. Don't ever take them base, because this is where your power is going to be, is inside the weapon options. Let's see, if you just want to have one squad hanging out there, if it was just one squad, not combined, I wouldn't do a regeneration aura. Definitely either plasma or fusion. I would probably do plasma over top of the fusion, because you're going to use other things to go after deadly targets, and you don't want to get that close. And then for the weapon teams, do you want a weapon team? It pretty much takes the squad from 10 wounds to 12 wounds, which is, it's an interesting thing that happens there. If you didn't want them to move much during the game, a mortar would be a pretty good addition to it. And then Sergeant, I would not worry about a Sergeant. If it gave an additional, like, morale buff, yeah, Sergeant might be an option, but just to give it a plasma pistol or a close combat weapon, I don't know about that. Or let's see if we can make a squad full of pushers. If I was going to push with this, if I was going to use this as like a combat squad, let's see here. We only need one hold the line boost, and then that's where I would do the regeneration aura. Because at this point, you got 20 models now with regeneration. In that case, I wouldn't do the plasma rifles. I would do flamers. If I was going to have a squad that's just pushing to fight other infantry, in this case, what we got going on here... Oh, I forgot to take the mortar off. Yeah, I would not use a mortar for a pushing squad. 360 points for 20 bodies that have regeneration on a 5-up defense. They have a 3+ on their morale test from the hold the line boost aura. Again, take the mortar off. I keep forgetting that when you combine them, stuff happens. So 325 points, even better. 16 rifles and 4 flamers that are going to be hitting on 2 with blast 3. These guys, yeah, for a pushing squad, this is not bad. Not bad at all. And because you get to choose your casualties, pretty much these 16 rifles, they're going to be ablative wounds for your 4 flamers. Those flamers are going to get the job done. Would I put a hero with them is the big question. What does this guy do that they don't get? If there was like a rapid advance, or not a rapid advance, if there was like a moving fast and shooting buff, that'd be fun. Precision shooter, we don't really need it because we're more focused on the flamers. Maybe Psyker. And then we're looking for the calculated foresight for the relentless, because relentless flamers are fun on top of, the rifle shots. You got to be 9 inches away to do that. So there is a sweet spot that you want to get those flamers into between 9 and 12 inches. You only got 4 of them, so you could probably do that. Shock speed, I would not be really that concerned with. Oh, yeah, I mean, is your character better suited elsewhere? In this case, where it's a pushing squad, yeah, he would kind of be better elsewhere. So, yeah, let's look at some other units. Next, we got veterans, and this is where some interesting stuff starts to happen. 80 points for 5 of them, quality 4, defense 5, hold the line, so 3 plus already for the quality. 1 shot a piece of rifles and 1 attack a piece of close combat weapons. We have the extended range buff, the hold the line boost buff. Boom, look at that. We are saving our quality on a 2. On a 2. We won't run away. We're veterans. Rah. Then we got regeneration aura. Oh, you can replace all the rifles with shotguns. Okay, every time I see this, I love shotguns. Let's leave one here so we can move to other thing. Oh, well, let's see. Let's see what else they got. I'm immediately drawn to this. Well, let's see what else. We got drum rifles, plasma rifles, or sniper rifles. We can take 2 of those in the squad, and they are hitting on a 4, so that's not bad. You can replace one of the rifles with a flamer, grenade launcher, or a fusion rifle. And you could do a weapon team in the squad as well. And you can upgrade all the models with either stealth, well, 2 of these, of stealth, armor 2, scout, and demo charges. So they could be really good for 1 melee attack. Then you got the sergeant options that you can do as well. Let's see, what can we do here? Hold the line boost aura. For 5 points, it's a no-brainer. Pumping you up to running away on quality 2. Okay, let's see here. Let's do a plasma squad. Let's do a whole bunch of AP4 stuff. We got 2 plasma rifles. Let's do a fusion rifle. A weapon team. I would not put a weapon team in this. And then let's do scout and armor 4. Then we do sergeant with a plasma pistol. There we go. 155 points. Look at this. We got 3 plasma shots, a fusion rifle shot. We're tough. We're defense 4, and we start at the halfway point on the board with scout. This is a really muck stuff up unit, and it's got some teeth. It has got some teeth. Let's say we want to put a hero in this. We'll do a company leader on the veterans, and then we're going to give them, for this, all the plasma, we'll say precision shooter, and then we will give this guy a plasma pistol, and then we're going to give him scout and the armor 4. So 250 points. So what we got here? We got 2, 4, 5 plasma shots that hit on a 3. So we're not doing too bad here. We got a fusion rifle that also hits on a 3. So that could be a powerful little squad there. It's only 6 guys, but they do scout. That's going to be something the enemy has to deal with immediately. Or let's say we keep the scout and we just go all shotguns and go-go. You knew I was going to do it. 340 points here. We still got the company leader with the precision shooter buff. That's 340 points for 23 shotgun shots hitting on a 3. With scout and armor 4. So pretty good assault squad here. It's like a turn 1 rush. We could do some coordination with some other stuff here, like maybe get a relentless boost on something before you shoot at it. Things can get interesting. Interesting indeed. Let's move on to the next unit. Stormtroopers. 110 points for 5 of them, quality 4, defense 4, hold the line, and Strider. 1 shot apiece at AP1 with heavy rifles and 1 attack and close combat weapon. We could do the field radio, company standard, or medical training again. 2 heavy rifles for a drum rifle, plasma rifle, or a sniper rifle. We could replace one of the heavy rifles with a flamer, grenade launcher, fusion rifle, or a storm machine gun. This is the first time this has come up. We can give them orbital drop to give them all ambush. Okay, this opens up some stuff. And then we have the sergeant options here. So again, we're going to do it. We're going to give them the hold the line buff. So they only fail on a 2. No, they are a 2. A 2 quality to pass. So they only fail on 1. It's still nuts in my head that that's an option. So let's see here. We're going to want to ambush these. If you ambush, the heavy rifles are not all that great. Why would you ambush these if you can shoot them from elsewhere? Plasma, fusion rifle, Sergeant with plasma. 165. 165 for an ambushing squad that's going to do damage when it lands. Just, yeah. You coordinate here. Let's see if we do Storm Leader, Precision Shooter. So they're going to be hitting on a 3. He's going to get a plasma pistol. Got to give him drop ambush to go with them. So 260. Let's combine it for 425. This unit's kind of scary. Kind of scary when it hits the ground. 8 plasma shots, 12 inches, which are going to be within 12 because the ambush, even if somebody pushes you out with the anti-ambush aura, you can move before you shoot. You just walk 1 inch forward and say, you thought, haha, bam, bam. Fusion rifles, 2 fusion rifles hitting on a 3 are good for pocket anti-big stuff because usually there's going to be something large hanging around in the back, or just they're going to be good to shoot at things that don't want to get shot back there. 10 shots at AP4 is never something to sneeze at. You're going to have 2 stormtroopers that are kind of left out holding the heavy rifles, and what we call those is ablative wounds. Next, we have Sappers. 75 points for 3 of them. They're quality 5, defense 5 with hold the line. And Relentless. Hey, we're starting to see Relentless show up. This is where some fun stuff happens. They have drum rifles, which are 2 shots apiece at 18 with rending. And you can replace the drum rifles with a grenade launcher, flamer, fusion rifle, rapid plasma rifle, ooh, or a rapid laser rifle. So this is where we're going to do we're going to jump ahead a little bit. Let's say we got transports, and there's a couple of ways that we can get transports. We can do light APCs, armored trucks, or even light gunships. So just assume these guys are going to be able to go where you want them to go. Rapid plasma rifles are fun, especially if you combine the squad and then you put a company leader in there with precision shooter buff. 340 points. For, 12, 14 AP4 shots. Interesting. Or you could take these instead of plasma. You can go all flamers. In this case, you don't need the precision shooter buff because everybody hits on a 2. Here you got 6 flamers. There's no AP on those, but it could be potentially 16 hits with reliable. Well, blast 3 it turns into, not 16. 6, 12, 18 hits. Math, brain. And then you got Relentless. So if you roll any 6s with those, the numbers just keep going up. This is a anti-infantry, just whoosh. Or let's say you don't want to take the rapid plasma and you want to keep them towards the back, just the rapid laser rifles with the precision shooter buff from the character. That's not bad at all. Again, that's going to be 12 shots hitting on 4, AP3. With Relentless, yeah, this is a sit back and just blast stuff squad. I like Sappers. Sappers are fun. Next unit we have on the list is the Snipers. 120 points for 3 of them, hold the line, scout, and stealth. They're armed with sniper rifles for 1-shot AP1 with reliable and takedown at 30 inches, and they have the option to take a Relentless mark. So I'm going to say always take that Relentless mark. Put them at 155. Not only do you get the option of taking out characters or buffing stuff inside the squad with takedown, but putting out that Relentless mark just gives your other squads, it just is a force multiplier. So 155 points, it's why wouldn't you? If you're going to take snipers, take the targeting sight. Characters with these are not really going to help them out that much because they're already hitting on a 2 with the sniper rifles. They have scout, so you get to put them down after the enemy has put down everything except for their scout models. So you can like line up a shot on somebody. And then with stealth, they're going to be harder to hit. So post these guys up in a ruin or inside some woods. And yeah, go to town. They're going to be enough of a pain in the butt that the enemy is going to have to dedicate something to go after them. And it's real fun when the enemy spent like 400 points on a squad and they're having to go after 3 dudes in a bush. Now we get to some bigger guns. We have the weapons team. 135 points for 3 models with toughness 3, quality 5, defense 5. Starting off with mortars with blast 3 indirect at 30 inches. And yeah, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. They do have the option for a Relentless mark down here. So if you take the mortars, The Relentless mark is kind of hard to pull off. You're going to have to put on something else because you have to do something that you can see. Or no, you don't. Once per activation, before attacking, pick one enemy with an 18. It doesn't say anything about line of sight. Okay, yes, absolutely. So here they only hit on a 5, maybe putting a character with precision aura on them, or precision shooting aura to get them down to a 4 with blast 3 indirect. Or I personally like taking the laser cannons on these. They're only 15 points apiece. 215, you've got 3 AP, 3 deadly, 3 shots. And if you put Relentless on something, you're gonna be you're cheesing there. You're gonna be smiling all day long. The other weapons, the HE autocannon, it's interesting, but in the weapon teams, it kind of falls in the same category as the heavy machine guns for me, which you're gonna have enough like AP1 and AP2 stuff floating around with your other squads that it would be a waste to do the heavy machine gun or the autocannon. Definitely go for the missile launcher, laser cannon, or the mortars if you want to hide them. Next unit we got is the Ogre Robots. Quality 4, defense 4, fearless, furious, hold the line, and toughness 3. They come with Gatling guns, 3 shots, AP1 at 12 inches, and heavy close combat weapons, 1 attack apiece at AP1. You replace all the Gatling guns with light grenade launchers and a combat shield, giving them shielded and bash, and their grenade launchers are blast 3. And you replace all the light grenade launchers with shock batons or combat axes. So this is a unit of beef. We're gonna turn this into a melee squad because, like I said, you got enough other shooting that you need something to stand up in close combat, and we are going to. We got Furious. We're gonna use it. So go do this to give yourself combat shields. And then the question becomes: do you want Rending or AP2? Just the way the state of the game at the moment, I would actually take Rending over top of the AP2 on these. Because, you can spike the AP4 and you ignore regeneration, which combat axes do not. So here is where we would put in, I would probably go for just a company leader to keep it cheap. We have 2 options here. We could do rapid advance to get them to go faster, or you could do Bane in melee, and this is where you could put on the combat axe. Because Bane also removes regeneration. This is a way to get you best of both worlds, AP2 with no regen. And then the character itself, let's do an AP4 Energy Lance, or Energy Axe, because why not? And if you keep the squad this size, 285 points for this is pretty cheap. This will fit inside of a transport, because the robots all count as 3 because they're tough as 3. This guy counts as 1 because he's a hero. It counts out as 10 for transport, so that's where you can do the APCs. Or the light gunships and stuff. They're too big to fit into a combat truck, but APCs are fine. We're a little bit too much beef for the flatbeds. And then last of our multi-model units, we have the Combat Bikers. 95 points for 5 of them. Quality 5, defense 5, fast, hold the line, and impact 1. They have 1 shot at 12 inches with pistols, and they come with heavy lances for 1 attack at AP2. So these are like motorcycle... like shock cavalry. We can replace the heavy lances with a hunting lance to give them 1 attack AP1 with thrust, meaning that when they charge, it's still AP2, but they get +1 to hit, meaning they'll hit on a 4. Actually, I like that option a lot. And they have the anti-tank lance down here, where we could do that with deadly. It would only be AP2 with deadly 3, but hitting on a 4. And then you can replace 1 of the pistols in the squad with a drum rifle, plasma rifle, laser rifle, grenade launcher, fusion rifle, or flamer. I would not do any of these. This squad is made to be charging, either charging or hiding and waiting to steal an objective. So if you wanted to use these to hide and steal objectives towards the end, keep them cheap, keep them at 100 points like this. But if you wanted to push with these, have a glorious charge, we're going to combine it for 10. Then we're going to go company leader. Put that on there. Bane in melee. Because everything else affects the shooting and stuff. You're not going to stand still. Maybe rapid advance. No, because it's only advance. It's not charges. And we're going to do a hunting lance. And then we're going to do combat bike. But love how we can give him 2 combat bikes. Does he get double fast? No. And then I would do a demo charge to give him a limited AP4. So, 290 points. This is actually a pretty nice squad here. We got 10, 11 impact hits. We have 12 attacks hitting on, well, this guy hits on a 3 with thrust. These guys hit on a 4 with thrust. They're going to be AP2, and they are going to ignore regeneration because of the Bane, and the enemy has to reroll 6s to save, along with a cheeky demo charge just in someone's back pocket. I wish you could give these guys demo charges. That would be interesting. That would be fun. That would be maniacal. And the hilarious part is you can put these guys in a transport too, because he's only count as one. You can have a transport that runs forward and dumps out bikers. I'm not saying that's a good idea. I just think it's funny you can do it. All right, we are about 1/3 of the way through because Human Defense Force has a ton of big toys. We're going to start off with light APC. I've been talking about this enough. 195 points, quality 4, defense 2, fast, hold the line, impact 3, toughness 6, and transport 11. Comes with a heavy flamer and a turret heavy flamer. So both of those are one shot, 12 inches, AP1, blast 3, and reliable. You can replace a turret heavy flamer with a heavy machine gun or a laser machine gun, and the other heavy flamer with a heavy machine gun. You can upgrade it with a pintle machine gun. You can give it a vehicle radio to get the extended buff range, strider, stealth, and you can stack on a hunter missile. So, for your light APCs, keep it cheap. That's my philosophy when it comes to APCs. Keep them cheap. They got one job, and that's to move forward, dump your troops out, and then after that, they can go run off to do other stuff, like go sit on objectives and just be pretty much a defense 2 box with heavy flamers, saying, don't come to me, I touch you with my flames. Another thing you could do with the Human Defense Force is, because of everything in the army is a shooting squad, you can move this thing forward as a moving piece of cover. Just keep your troops behind it. Keep this thing, sideways facing the enemy for defense 2, just a brick in front of stuff. In that case, again, keep it cheap for that. Your heavy flamer is going to be doing just fine. Strider is the only option I would think about putting on this thing. There you go, 200 points flat. Next unit we have is the Armored Truck. 175 points, quality 4, defense 4, fast, hold the line, impact 3, strider, and toughness 6. Comes with a twin storm machine gun for 4 shots at AP1 at 24, and a light Gatling gun for 4 shots at 18. This thing is a deck-a-wagon. You can replace the twin storm machine gun with a twin light HE autocannon for 4 shots, AP1, and fracture. You can replace the light Gatling gun with a pintle machine gun, light battle cannon, or a Taurus missile. And you can give it scout, transport 6, or relentless. Interesting. So let's say you want to use this thing as a transport. We'll just start there with the first option. You can take transport 6, keep it with the deck of guns because you don't want to spend any more points than you have to, and then you put in a combined squad of sappers with flamers. So this thing's moving forward. It's got toughness 6, defense 2. It moves forward 1 turn, and then it dumps out the boys, and they just burn everything there in front of them. This one we could do it, or you could do the rapid plasma rifles and keep them kind of like as a quick reaction force. But let's say you want to use the Armored Truck as a deck-a-wagon. In that case, take off the transport, give it the relentless mark. Why? Because we got enough guns to do it with. And I would replace the twin storm machine gun. This is where I would do the fracture. Just because if you roll 6 to hit, you're going to get AP2, plus you're going to get an extra hit with relentless. Then we're going to do 4 shots. For a deck-a-wagon, you keep that on there just for lighter targets. But if you're going against heavier stuff, this Taurus missile is interesting. 3 shots at AP2 with Unstoppable. It ignores regeneration, all negative modifiers. This thing can shoot at flyers. You can shoot at stuff with stealth. 265 for longer range shooting here. We got 3 shots at 2, and we have 4 shots at fracture. Yeah, with relentless, I like it. I like it a lot. You don't have a strider. You don't have a strider option with this, which is the only frowny face thing I have for it, but I like it. Trucks are cool. Then last in the light vehicle section is the Light Walker, 155 points, quality 4, defense 2, fear of 1, hold the line, and toughness 6. Comes with a rapid heavy flamer, 2 shots at AP1, blast 3, and reliable, and a stomp for 2 attacks at AP1. So we do not have any type of close combat options on it. So let's see what we can do here. You can replace a rapid heavy flamer with a rapid machine gun, rapid missile launcher, rapid autocannon, rapid laser cannon, rapid machine gun, rapid laser machine gun, or a rapid plasma cannon. And you could upgrade it with a cluster missile, rocket salvo, AA warhead, and you give it stealth, scout, and a relentless mark. Okay, relentless mark, this is a shooting thing. Let's just put that on there. 190 now. Relentless heavy flamers are fun. This is a case where, with Relentless, you know how I normally say I don't like heavy machine guns because the points feel weird with those, but 6 shots AP1 with Relentless for 15 points, I kind of like that. This is tipped over the edge for me. So that's an option. Rapid missile launcher if you want to go after hardened targets. This is a pretty nice one, especially with the Relentless. The HE autocannon. So between the rapid machine gun, 6 shots AP1, and then the HE autocannon, it's another 25 points, but you do have the ability to spike to AP3. And let's say if you just wanted AP3, you could pump it up a little bit more. Okay, in this case, I would skip this and go right for the rapid laser machine gun if I wanted to spike AP3. The laser cannon. Okay, I'll just say it. Everything in here is good except for the rapid auto cannon. Just because the extra 20 points, I'll just guarantee that I spike it for 3s, AP3. Yeah, anything's good here. Everything has the ability to do stuff. It just what are you aiming for? Limited stuff. They're cheap enough. Yeah. Whatever you have up here, augment it with this down here if you're going after like a larger stuff, AA warheads. Yeah, and other things are made for troop killing. Yeah, scout, interesting. Yeah. Dude, okay, as we go through this, the Human Defense Force walkers, I like the walkers because there's no real bad options with the walkers. So just keep that in mind as we go through. I'm just going to go Google over the freaking mechs. Next, we got the attack vehicle into regular vehicles and monsters. Now, 225 for a 4-2 fast, hold the line, impact 3, and toughness 9. Comes with an acid cannon for 6 shots with Bane, so automatically removing regeneration, and a heavy flamer. We got our standard vehicle buffs here, extended range, strider, and stealth. And we can replace the acid cannon with a fusion cannon or twin flamer cannon. And we can replace the heavy missile in the hull with a fusion rifle or machine gun. So this one, pick your poison. Do you want to go against... This guy's kind of good against everything with Bane. Kind of like a middle of the road. Or if you want to go troop hunting, do twin flamer cannon, keep the flamer cannon on there. Here, so you got a bunch of blast 3 stuff. You could do anti-tank stuff, you do the heavy fusion rifle, and you do a fusion cannon. There you go. It's kind of a pick which direction you want it to go. They all are pretty good, and they're pretty cheap too because you're quality 4. Maybe putting a character close by to give this guy the +1 to hit precision shooting might be worth it. Just to make sure if you do this and you only get 2 shots, you want to make sure, you want to try to make those shots better so that you hit more than you miss. Next, the battle tank. We kind of talked about all the options for the battle tank when we looked at the tank commander. It's got everything that the tank commander had, just not all of the buffing stuff. So, I forgot to put it in the list. Here we go. 4-2, 335, fast, hold the line, impact 6, toughness 12, Nova cannon, and twin heavy flamer. We already talked about it. If you want to go troop hunting, that's where you put on this heavy flamer. And then you do like a Punisher cannon, or you do the battle cannon, or you do this over here, the HE cannon. Yeah, this. So the tanks are tanks. Try to keep them out of close combat. Pick your targets, pick your weapons. You want to shoot at those targets, and you are good to go. Next, we have the heavy battle tank. Starting off at 425, quality 4, defense 2, fast, hold the line, impact 6, and toughness 15. Coming with twin light battle cannons, 2 shots, AP2 blast 3 to 30, a light Gatling gun for 4 shots at 18, and a fusion array for 2 shots, AP4 deadly 3. So we have, for options, you can replace the light battle cannon with an HE autocannon and an oppression cannon, both of these together. You can replace the light Gatling gun with a pulverizer cannon, or the fusion array with a heavy machine gun, and you could just give it another heavy machine gun. So not very many options when compared to the regular battle tank. And it seems kind of I don't know. These weapons feel kind of disjointed because here you have a multi-targeting thing. You got the light Gatling gun, the light battle cannon for troops, the fusion array for heavier targets. Let's say you switched out the light battle cannon with the HE cannon and the oppression array, or the oppression cannon. So now you got more deadly shots. You got some fracture shots. That light Gatling gun's still there. We can replace the Gatling gun with a pulverizer gun for blast of 3. Okay, I probably wouldn't do that, because that just doesn't gel with everything else. You do a fusion array, replace it with a heavy machine gun, and then put another heavy machine gun on there. Now we got tons of shots. Let's see here. We got some blast. Wait, pulverizer. Did I take that off? Yeah, let's take that off. So we have anti-vehicle stuff or anti-heavier stuff with the oppression and the autocannon. And then for lighter targets, like just basic troops, we got 4 shots. And then we got 6 shots and 3 shots and 9, 13 shots. All hitting on a 4. Again, if you want to put a character next to this to give it +1 to hits, that's probably going to be a good option. Yeah, this comes in at 515. Defense 2 with toughness 15. It's going to take some real dedicated anti-tank to get this thing off the board, or a, pretty beefed up melee squad. Again, try not to get this thing into close combat. It's not going to do too well, and you should be good. Now we got another mech. We got the Combat Walker, starting off 255. Quality 4, defense 2, fear 2, fortified, meaning that everything shooting at it is AP -1. Furious, hold the line at toughness 12. Comes with a Gatling gun and stomp. It's got furious. What do we do for close combat weapon? Replace the Gatling gun with a forget this exists. Sword or an axe. We got rending, or we got AP4. Again, rending removes regeneration. AP4 is just beat stick. And then for the shield, this for attacks, this looks a little bit anemic. And you're already defense 2, -1 with fortified. Yeah, I'd get rid of the shield just to do this here. In this case, you are 12 attacks at AP4 and 4 attacks at AP1. Defense 2, toughness 12. This is a whole lot of beef running across the board. Upgrade it with 1. I wouldn't worry about this at all. You are a charging beat stick. The only question is, do you want to do 6 at 4 or do you want to do 6 at 1 with rending? And the points difference, we got 325 with the swords, and then we got 365 with the axes. This one, it's one of the few dedicated close combat things you have in the list, and it is very strong. This thing, like, comparison is the thief of joy, but let's just do that real quick. Let me pull up some orcs. So here we have a straight comparison between the two. We got a Combat Walker versus the Orcs Melee Walker. They're both toughness 12. They're both defense 2. The Combat Walker has 12 attacks at AP4, and the Melee Walker for the Orcs only has 8 attacks at AP4. True, this thing is 60 more points, but for straight up more AP4 attacks, he's got Furious, he's got Ferocious, so essentially the same thing when they're charging. Yeah, I would take that Combat Walker over the Orcs Melee Walker, just because it's more scary stuff, more scary attacks. Yeah, Combat Walker equal good is what I'm trying to say. Next we have its brother in crime here, the Tactical Walker. Starting off at 325, quality 4, defense 2, fear 2, hold the line, toughness 12. It comes with a 4-shot heavy flamer, and then 4 attacks with stomp. So just like the Light Walker, we have the same kind of options, except with just more numbers attached. We got a heavy machine gun with 12 shots, missile launcher with 4 shots, HE autocannon with 12 shots, laser cannon with 4 shots, laser machine gun with 12 shots, and a plasma cannon with 4 shots. We do the cluster missile, rocket salvo, and AA warhead. Those are all the same. Yeah, this is fun. Lots of guns on this baby. The 4 AP1 Blast 3 reliable heavy flamers. Those are good to start with. It's definitely anti-infantry. I would take that over top of the heavy machine gun. Yeah, you really want to scare some people? 4 shots, AP3, deadly 3. All of your tank will belong to us. And in this case, with this shooter guy, precision shooting aura to give him +1 to hit. Plus, if you put some snipers out there with the relentless mark, this thing firing all of its guns with relentless is ridiculous. Again, the mechs are the best parts of the army. That's just my opinion, though. You might be a treadhead, but I like Pacific Rim type kaiju hunting. Next, we have the support vehicle. We're in the artillery section. 255, quality 4, defense 2. Hold the line, impact 3. Why? Don't charge with this. Mobile artillery and toughness 6. Comes with a shard mortar, 3 shots, blast 3, indirect and rending, and heavy flamer with blast 3, reliable. So, I like that shard mortar. Just blast 3, indirect and rending. If the enemy squad's got regeneration, sorry, not anymore. Take some blasts. We got the standard stuff here, the extended range, buff, strider, and stealth. And then we have, you can change it out for an AA cannon, 6 shots, AP3 and unstoppable. An Eagle rocket, 2 shots, AP2, blast 3, indirect. A ballistic missile, 1 shot, AP4, blast of 12, indirect and limited and reliable. Okay, that's interesting. Or an artillery cannon, 3 shots, AP1, blast 3, indirect. So everything has blast except for the AA cannon. And you can replace the heavy flamer with a heavy machine gun, but this is what we're looking at here. This is the meat in this guy. This be funny. A blast of 12, you have to have like the right kind of army you're fighting against for this to even be a viable option, because blast of 12, you're probably going to be losing a lot of those. They are AP4. Give me more. But it's indirect. You get to fire it. Well, no, it's limited. You get to fire it one time. But it's reliable. Oh, it's got 1 meme shot, and then it's a brick with a heavy flamer. Oh, it's hilarious. I kind of like it. Yeah. Let's see here. God, blast of 12. You're going to be losing a lot of your blast hits because no one's going to bring a squad of like 20 dudes that AP4 is worth it against. I don't even think that's like a option. Maybe, whatever. It's so stupid and hilarious at the same time. I would go for shard mortar if you want to put some AP on it. And yeah. Here you cap out at 9 hits with the blast because you got 3 shots. Here you cap out at 6, but they're AP2. Yeah, I would probably do the Eagle rocket. Probably. Or you guys know me. I would probably do 3 ballistic missiles because at that point it's 320 just to be hilarious. Don't listen to me. I'm having a moment. Next, we have the field artillery. So this one has, well, let's get to it. It has 100 points, quality 4, defense 2, artillery. So when it holds, it can only use holds. And if it shoots over 9 inches away, it's +1 to hit. And it gets the entrenched already on it, so it's -2 to hit. Hold the line, toughness 3. We got the light shard mortar and the artillery crew. Here we have the options for a rocket battery, a heavy laser cannon, a light AA cannon, or a field cannon. And then we could do, this one comes with a relentless mark, definitely. Makes this interesting. We got 2 shots, blast 3, indirect with rending with relentless. Maybe might be worth it. Maybe it might be worth it to keep it cheap. It's only 135 at this point, but it's going to be hitting on the 3. Yeah, I would definitely keep these as an indirect shooting. Would I? Yes. But would I? Yes. Probably to pump it up for the AP1, I'd spend the 40 points for 175. I would not expose this thing to the enemy because even with a -2 to hit, it's only toughness 3 with a defense 2. All it's going to take is 1 missile to snake its way in there. You're going to be like, I'm hard to hit, and that person is going to just roll a 6 immediately. You're going to go, well, shit. Yeah, field artillery, it's cheaper than the support vehicle artillery because it's immobile, but the support vehicle gets you the ballistic missile. Again, this thing is stupid. I love it. All right, now we're into Titans. Starting off with the Tactical Titan. 540 points, so it is underneath the point value needed to play at 2,000 points. So just keep that in mind. Quality 4, defense 2, fear 3, fearless, hold the line, toughness 18. Comes with a cluster missile array, 2 shots of blast 3, a Walker heavy flamer, 4 shots, AP1 blast 3 reliable, and 6 attacks, AP2 with stomp. So what we got for options? We could do a heavy machine gun, missile launcher, HE autocannon, laser machine gun, a plasma cannon, and then replace the cluster missiles with a rocket, salvo, and AA warheads. So I'm curious. Let's put a tactical walker up against it. So 540, we have 12-1, 12-1. Okay, so what you're doing with a tactical titan is you're taking a tactical walker and you are adding on 6 more toughness and a cluster or missile array that you have to take. That just kind of shot it down in my head, because let's say you wanted to take it with the heavy flamers, I would do 2 tactical walkers come out to 650, 540. These would be, it's double the amount of output for weapons. Tactical Titans are fun because they're just giant bricks and they're huge, and yeah, but they don't have any more output than a single tactical walker would have. So Tactical Titans, you can take them. I wouldn't take them. I would just take 2 tactical walkers. Now if the weapons went crazy to add up to the toughness 18, let's see here, 4, 12, yeah, that's why, because they automatically attach the cluster missiles to it. Because you got blast covered here. If I had to take it, I would do the rocket missile just to give it more shots that can reach out a little bit, spread out the love a little bit more. Yeah, your toughness 18 defense too. Getting close is not going to be a problem. Then we got a super heavy battle tank. It's throwing a code at me already because it's over the 35% point limit. 870 points, quality 4, defense 2, fast, fearless, hold the line, impact 2, and toughness 24. So again, giant brick on wheels, which we can make even bigger. So we're going to have a machine gun, a hell cannon for 4 shots, AP1, blast 3, and unstoppable. We got a siege mortar for 2 shots, blast 3, indirect. So this is a blasty boy to start off with. Let's see, we can give it a Lord Gatling cannon for 18 shots, AP1 and unstoppable. See, these are the type of guns I wanted to see on that tactical walker, or the tactical titan. Because if they had this, that'd be something else. So there we go. Lord Gatling cannon for just Mo Deca. The sword cannon for 3 shots of blast to 6 at AP3. Storm cannon, 2 shots, AP4, blast 6 at indirect. Meh. Doom cannon, 6 shots, AP3, deadly 3. Wow. Shadow cannon for 3 shots, AP4, deadly 6. This is a tank and tactical titan stuff killer. A hammer cannon, 6 shots, AP1, blast 3 indirect. Or a HE autocannon with a bane cannon and a siege mortar for some fracture, some blasting, and some indirect. This is the Tourette's, the ADD of weapon options for if you don't know what you want to fight against. You want to fight against everything at once. This is the option. Again, I would go with the Shadow Cannon. Then we have upgraded with a heavy flamer, a heavy machine gun. Really? At this point, really? Here we go. We can upgrade it with some sponson arrays. You could choose one of these 2. You can give it another laser cannon and a heavy flamer, and you give it plus 6 toughness. Or a laser cannon and a heavy machine gun and plus 6 toughness. Yeah, make that baby toughness 30. And you can give it transport for transport 21. You want a brick of immovable stuff sitting in front of it. They can get out from this tank. The recruits that just... that's a really good melee defense. It's just dumping out a squad of guys as a blade of armor. Yeah, we're in ludicrous territory here. Yeah, yeah. 1,205 points. 1,205 points. This thing is a anti-tank killer because we got the shadow cannon going on here. This is the way I would build it, just because laser cannon, mostly the laser cannon, it's an additional upgrade for a little bit more chip. God, I'm calling Deadly 3 chip damage at this point. So we got our anti-troop options. We have our anti-vehicle options. It's toughness 30. Yeah, when you start putting stuff like this on the board, you're playing a different caliber of game. Things go boom. Oh, moving on. We got the aircraft left. We have the light gunship, quality 4, defense 2, aircraft, toughness 6, transport 11. Let's talk about aircraft for a minute. You can't stand still. You can only use advanced actions, and you go an extra 30 on top of that, even if you are shaken. You ignore all units and terrain when moving and stopping. You can't seize or contest objectives, can't be charged, and it is minus 12-inch range if anyone wants to shoot at you, making these guys the ultimate go where you want and drop out your troops on turn number 1. Comes with a laser cannon and twin rocket pod for some deadly and some blast. We could change out the laser cannon for a laser machine gun and replace the twin rocket pod with strike missiles for deadly 6. Ooh, interesting. And you can upgrade it with a door gunner for 3 shots at AP1. So what I would normally do with the light gunship is I would keep it cheap like this. Just basic. Don't put any upgrades on it. You're going to be using this thing for its really, really fast APC qualities. You can always shoot no matter how fast you go with this because you can only use advance. You're going to be going 30 to 36 inches. So 2 shots, blast 3 are interesting to do with that. And laser cannon, deadly 3. Yeah, it's got... I'm not looking at this thing for the damage dealing. I'm looking at it for its transport capacity. You can take any of the squads we talked about up here and put them pretty much anywhere on the board on turn 1. You just have to move the plane and then hope you don't get shot. With the minus 12-inch range on stuff, that's a big factor in you not getting shot as much, because pretty much the stuff has to be right underneath you, or it has to be a long-ranged anti-tank option. And even then, even 30 inches goes down to 18-inch range with minus 12. You're only tough to 6, but your defense 2. So, yeah, it's... Aircraft are funny. Aircraft are fun. If you build a list that's based around aircraft, things can be interesting. Yeah, that's what all I can really say about it. It's the magic school bus, flying through the sky, dropping your troops where they want to go. Last option on the list is the heavy gunship, 355 points. Ooh, that's a big jump. Quality 4, defense 2, aircraft, toughness 9, and transport 6. So this could still be your little magic school bus, dropping off squads of sappers. Comes with a Fury missile, 2 shots with blast of 3, and a twin laser cannon, 2 shots, AP3, deadly 3. So this one is a more dedicated anti-tank thing, and you can replace the Fury missiles with twin laser cannons. Here we go. We have 4 shots at AP3, deadly 3. It is an anti-tank gunship, 420 points, potentially doing 12 wounds to stuff if you spike your damage on that. This one, again, it feels like an APC with a transport 6 with just more options after you drop your stuff off. It's going after a different caliber of target than your light gunship was. Kind of expensive at 420 points, but that all depends on what you go after you drop your stuff off. So that is the Human Defense Force Army list. Let's take a look at what I put together for this week. So this week, doing the Human Defense Force, again, I always like to pick a theme with stuff. I picked all the robots and the mecha walkers, with a couple of guys in there, kind of like drone controllers, coordinating everything. So what do we got? We got 2 squads of 5 grunt robots and then a squad of 10 grunt robots. Just because I'm only allowed to have 3 of the same thing in a 2,000 point list, I would have loved to have 4 squads. 5. These are going to be my ground holders, moving forward, standing on objectives, maybe taking some pot shots with their rifles. I don't expect much out of them. They're just going to be there to hold the ground. Then we have 2 squads of 3 snipers, entirely for the Relentless Mark. They are going to be doing some work, though, with their takedown shots, maybe taking out some buffing models out of enemy units. We have a company leader leading some Ogre robots with the precision shooting buff. And what I did with these, because I have just a bunch of stuff hanging out, I kind of wanted to have more firepower on the board. Got the precision shooter buff because he's leading a group of Ogre robots, all with Gatling guns. Now, I said that you should deck these out for close combat, but we got close combat stuff coming up. It's going to be 18 shots at AP1, hitting on a 3, and then potentially we get the Relentless Mark from a sniper onto their target to give us, exploding 6s. Plus, I feel like I've been doing a whole lot of close combat lately. I wanted to really kind of focus on shooting with an army, just so, I don't know, so I can feel the game from that direction. I like punching stuff in the face. Let's see what happens when I shoot. Then we have, well, kind of went right back against that. We have a combat walker. I gave him the energy swords for rending to remove regeneration, just because he needed to be a little bit cheaper, because I have 2 tactical walkers with the walker heavy flamers. They're going to be moving forward, burninating stuff, maybe again with a relentless mark, because a 4-shot heavy flamer with relentless, I think, is funny. So that is the Human Defense Force. Coming up this week, we're going to be focusing on those. On Monday, you are going to be seeing a painting video on them. I think I'll be doing the ogre robots just because, yeah, they're nice. They got enough details. It'll be fun there. And then on Thursday, they're going to be in a live battle report against the Prime Brothers that we saw 2 weeks ago. So swing by for that if you want to see how this performs on the board. And if you liked what you saw, please consider becoming a channel member. Channel members get access to videos as they are finished. So this one is going up quite a bit before you guys are going to be able to see it on the schedule. There's also a Patreon. The Patreon's kind of just like a tip jar. I don't really pay attention to Patreon much. I am stretched so thin with everything already. I will occasionally pop in there and throw some stuff down. And thank you to our channel sponsor, PrintedStarships.com. If you guys want anything to do with spaceships or Star Wars models or Babylon 5 or Stargate or anything in like the wider sci-fi genre, go check them out. Use the code warbossfitz for 15% off. So that'll do it for me today. I hope you guys had fun watching. I had fun putting this together, and I hope you guys are having fun playing OPR wherever you are, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.